come on, it's time for Vlogmas. Hello reading vlog. It's been so long and I figured that in this reading vlog, I'm first of all, let me go ahead and say I'm trying to get back into reading, which means I'm also trying to get back into filming myself reading, and that has never come easy to me just because I feel like I talk way too much. I talk all the time and I love to talk about books, so the vlogs are extremely long. So this first vlog, we're just going to see how long it takes me to get through. Any guesses which book? I want you to be thinking about which book I'm gonna pick for our first book from my winter TBR while I choose my advent calendar for the day. I'm gonna do it. It's day 8. Happy Vlogmas day 8, by the way. When you're watching this, it will probably be like somewhere in the 20s. This is the original donut shop Snickers. Oh my gosh, this is so funny, but I will not be drinking this right now because it is like 8 o'clock at night, and so I have a few freebies, and unfortunately for me, all of the freebies are the same because anytime I get something that I don't want, I just don't drink it. So we're gonna be doing a decaf coffee. Yay! Now let's get into the book that I'm gonna pick. I apologize because there's no lighting on this side of the room, but all of my books that I picked out in my winter TBR, I have them over here. These are the ones that I can exchange if I don't like what I'm reading. These are the ones that I am going to be trying to get through. And our first book, dun, 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 Percy Jackson. The show comes out in a few days, so I need to start reading this. So I thought it would be fun to see how long it would take me to get through. I think this is less than 300 pages. Yeah, a 279 page book. So let's get started. I am gonna read in my room though because it's late at night and I don't want to sit in here. Let's go! Hey folks, nice for you to join us. Make my first coffee of many in this vlog. Decaf. I've never had a decaf coffee before, fun fact, so I need to figure out, like, do you just put like regular creamer and stuff in it? Like milk? I don't know. So, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully good. I've been editing all day and I need to actually get back to editing, but you know how it be. Coffee. I'm gonna use this walnut barista maple blend. It's pretty good. Recommend trying it if you haven't. Then I'm gonna put in a little bit of the peppermint mocha chobani creamer. Then mix it up and let's give it a little taste test. So I've been watching this new, it's not new, but it's new to me, this show on Prime, Amazon Prime, or is it Prime Video? Whatever, I've been watching this new old show on Prime Video called Beauty and the Beast, and it has Lana from Smallsville, Clarksville, that show. I haven't watched it, obviously, and
oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no,
this tastes awful. Who the frick would put themselves through this? That tastes like straight butt in a cup. Eee. Why would you ever drink decaf? Yuck! Guys, I'm sorry. I'm not drinking that. I'm not drinking that ever again. That is actually the nastiest thing I've ever tasted in my entire life. And I'm not even joking. And I know what you might be thinking, Erica, are you just being... Oh, it literally tastes like medication. Erica, are you just being dramatic because it's decaf? No. That is actually so foul and disgusting. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, no. I'm not drinking this. I decided to make a glass full of lemonade with some water. That's good. I don't know why, but I hate when I do this. Why are we off to a bad start? I can't believe how bad that coffee was. Like, I would never put myself through that. I don't care. I'd just rather not have a coffee. Or have like half the amount of coffee. Oh my gosh, that was actually disgusting. That was the most foul thing I ever tasted. Frick that. Frick that. We'll go with my lemonade. I always have to dilute this with water though, because it has a lot of sugar and I just don't need that. I mean, you're still having sugar, but at least it's not as much sugar as if you like filled up the whole cup, you know what I'm saying? Or at least that's my logic. Now that we're back upstairs, we're starting this book. I'm predicting that I will get through it maybe by the end of the week, but I don't know how much is going to be in the first episode, but I feel like I want to get at least the first 3 or 4 chapters done before the first episode comes out. And that comes out on the 10th of December. I have no idea what day that is. If today's the 8th and it's Monday, tomorrow's the 9th, Wednesday. We're bringing back Wednesdays. Listen, I had the best time every single Wednesday tuning in. My only complaint is that the episodes were too short. My only complaint. It was so much fun. And then going on TikTok and watching edits. It's literally the summer I turned pretty. Like that type of idea. But anyways, the first chapter is called My Best Friend Shops for a Wedding Dress. Who the frick? I don't even remember where we left off in the last book. Couldn't tell ya. But I'm just excited to dive in and see what's going on. So I'll give you an update when I have something to say. I look so sleepy, and it's because I am. I made it to chapter 5, so I'm on page 48, so basically 50 pages in. And you know what? I'm really enjoying the story. Sometimes it's hard for me though, because it's not every single day that I pick up a book where its target audience is for like elementary and middle schoolers. So I was like, these sentences are so like middle school or elementary, like what are we doing? And then I realized, I was like, Erica, you're reading Percy Jackson. I really enjoy the story. Like, I feel like it's so fast paced, and I made it through the taxi scene, which is very interesting because I've been seeing that in the promo and in the trailer. I just got through the fight scene. We just figured out who Tyson is, so it was very interesting. I didn't know that he was with Percy before everything went down, and so I wonder when we're gonna figure out like just certain stuff that I picked up through like the first season watching it and reading the first book. Oh, there was this one part with Annabeth where she like punched the guy in the face and was like, stop messing with my friend Percy. I was like, It's so interesting too, like seeing their friendship and soon to be relationship develop, because I think I'm gonna make this video, by the way, spoilers, because I feel like everybody has probably read this. So I'm just going to talk about it kind of freely. It's interesting because Percy has so many thoughts about Annabeth, and he's always following them up with, I don't know, like, you know how when you were younger and a boy likes you, he's like, oh, like, she's really pretty. But, like, I just noticed her because, like, she's the only girl that, like, knows how to straighten her hair. Or, like, something stupid. Like, I feel like that's kind of how Percy is, like, talking about Annabeth. He's like, oh, she saw me when I was sleeping. She seems embarrassed by that. Or, like, I'm embarrassed by that. Oh, she has her hair like this. This is the first time I noticed her appearance. Like, I feel like he's just always constantly thinking about Annabeth. And then when someone clocks him, he's like, and what about it? Like, what? Like, it's not my fault though. Like, I'm not doing it on purpose. Anyways, I think I'm about to go to sleep. It's 10:15, and reading always makes me sleepy, but I definitely want to spend a good bit of tomorrow reading because I think it's going to be kind of nasty out, which is perfect reading weather. And hopefully we can get the book finished by the end of the week, and we can get what did I say I wanted to? Oh, I said I wanted to get the first few chapters in before, and I already have, basically. What do we think episode 1 is, like, how many chapters that's gonna be? Because, like, I don't know, the way that it was set up last season, I feel like the first episode went pretty deep into the book, and then it, like, kind of slowed down, I feel. And so, I don't know, I'm kind of nervy, but hopefully I can get through it kind of quickly. Excited, but I do have work and stuff to continue to do, and so I'm gonna get ready to go to bed. But let's do our advent calendar because I kind of want some chocolates. So tired. Okay, today is the 8th, and I think I did 1, 2, 3, where's 4? 4, 5, so I haven't done 6, 7, or 8. Here's 6. So these come in like different shapes. So like the first one that I got was an ornament. The second one that I got was a shoe or like a little booty. The third one that I got was a Christmas tree. Fourth one, another booty. Fifth one was a house. I'm predicting that number 6 will be, I don't know, maybe a star or an ornament. Oh, I think this might be a toboggan. No, I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a reindeer. That's so precious. Aww. Let's do number 7. I think this is a candle. Kind of cute. I guess we'll go ahead and do 8. Maybe, I don't know. I keep guessing wrong. I think this might be mistletoe. Yeah, this is mistletoe. I'll see you guys tomorrow with more reading and updates. Good night. Hello guys, it's the next day. I just woke up from a little midday nap and I figure it's time to get some more reading done. Percy Jackson, the series comes out tomorrow, season 2. I wonder if they're gonna do it how they did the first season, where I think the first episode comes out at like 6 or 6:30, something like that. But irregardless, I would love to be maybe halfway. I don't know how many chapters are in the book. Oh, let me look at the table of contents. Okay, there's 20 chapters. That's definitely doable. I feel like I could read 5 chapters. Let's pick out our next day of coffee. I don't know if I'm going to... Oh my gosh, this is gonna bug me. Guys, I eventually have to get a lamp for this room. Let's go ahead and pick out my next day. Today is the 9th. Oh, this is a good one. This is Toasted Graham by Starbucks. I might make this a little bit later, but I, as you guys know, tried the decaf last night, so I don't know what I'm going to do with these 3, because I'm never doing that to myself ever again. That was absolutely disgusting. But these 2, those I can drink. So I'm going to also lay out this rug really quickly. Here she is. So cute. Now, let's get to reading. I have my water right here. I'm going to try to finish this and then go fill it up in the time that it takes me to read these 5 chapters, maybe more. And I just kind of want to get cozy because I'm cold. Like I said, my goal is to get through 5 chapters, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And I have my little snack, my mini chessmen that I got. I have some orange juice, and I have a water that I need to be chugging. There's no ambiance, so the ambiance will be crickets for me and crickets for you. Chapter 5, I get a new cabin mate. Ooh. Percy is so freaking smart. He be calling stuff out before everybody else. I keep forgetting that we don't know the prophecy. Like, I felt like we knew the prophecy at the end of season 1, but I guess not, because I don't know it. I'm reading about it. We currently don't know it in the book. Interesting. Now it's just us. Things that I'm loving so far in the first 5 pages of this chapter. 1, I'm loving how Percy's attitude is. I feel like in the first book, he was just always really scared, didn't really know what was going on, rightfully so. But in this book, he is so confident within himself, and I can see how it's gonna probably get him in trouble in the future. He's talking about Kronos. I mean, you think the Titan Lord would have learned his lessons eons ago when he was overthrown by the gods. You think that getting chopped into a million pieces and cast into the darkest part of the underworld would have given him a subtle clue that nobody wanted him around, but no. He's so sassy. Then, in this part, he says, who is this Tenopulus guy anyways? Talking about the new teacher that's replacing their old teacher. I demanded, where does he get off on taking your job? I just feel like Percy has so much gumption, and I'm like, it's funny now. And we kind of saw it at the end of season 1 in the show, when he was talking to Zeus. But it's funny now, but I definitely could see how this is going to get us in trouble in the future. Annabeth right now is very sad, and she just swore on her life to take care of Percy. And they emphasize the fact that it thundered outside. So she kind of, in my eyes, just bonded herself to life for Percy. I wonder if she knows that. Anyways, I'm gonna continue to read, but it's very interesting. Also, I'm kind of missing Grover right now because he's MIA. And also, Percy forgot to tell his teacher that about his dream about Grover, and I can't even blame him. So much has happened. So much has happened, and so I just feel like it wouldn't have been on my mind either, considering that you go to your favorite place in the world, which I feel so bad for them. And the way that he's describing it, even though it's a middle school, I guess, reading level and middle school book, I feel like it is the perfect representation for like middle schoolers, because he gives this one example of when you go into your room after your mom has cleaned it, and like you can tell that someone tried their best to like clean it or whatever, but nothing's in the right place. It has a weird scent to it. And I remember thinking when I was younger, like, now I love if my parents clean my room. They don't, but I would love if they did. But I remember thinking when I was young, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying. Like, everything's out of place. And also I felt like my things that I didn't want them to see, or like my private things, like my journal, other things, I was like, now I feel like they've been through them. And remembering that feeling that I had when I was younger and then reading about it, oh my gosh, it's just like nostalgic is the best way to explain it. I need to be chugging my water. That was the whole point of me switching up my location. Let's get back to reading. In the scene, Percy is watching the satyrs. Is that how you say it? Satires? I should know. I'm gonna say satyrs. And he's being reminded of Grover, and he's reminiscing on the fact that Grover was the first one to find him and recognize that he was a demigod. And thinking back to like how Percy was mislabeled in school, and like he was a troubled child, he thought he was dumb, he thought he was stupid. That is why I feel like their relationship is the way that it is, because imagine being told your whole life that you're this one way. And your mom knows. And your mom knows that you're not actually that. But like everybody else around you assumes that you're that. You start to believe it. And then you have someone come in and they are your best friend. Quote unquote. I feel like they got into a fight where he was like, were you just pretending? But like, if you think about it, like Grover recognized his potential and then walked Percy through everything and just like realized like who he really was. And I feel like that's holds such a special place in Percy's heart. And so him reminiscing on that, me reminiscing on that, it's just making me so emotional. I really remember that Percy was feeling some type of way about his dyslexia and not being able to pay attention in class, having all these things come after him. He's thinking that he's seeing things. He's thinking that he's going crazy. Whole time his friend Grover knows what's going on, has to keep a secret to help him fly under the radar, even though like petty level monsters are coming after him. Fly under the radar so no big, actual, dangerous monsters and villains come after him. But I know he misses him, and I miss him so much. Actually, I miss them together. We just got to the end of chapter 5, and Poseidon just claimed Tyson as his son. And so now Percy has a half-brother. I don't know why I thought it was going to be more of a reveal of like, but I can't stand these freaking camp leaders. Like, Mr. D was awful enough, but this new guy, like, I just feel like they are the worst people to put in charge of children. First of all, and I understand they're not actual, I guess they are children, but like they're demigods and like, you know, children of the gods. So, but still, I'm just getting angry for Tyson because it's evident that he's a baby, right? I've picked up on this. He is not very old. And the fact that I wonder if Poseidon sent him to Percy to watch over Percy, or if Poseidon sent him to Percy for Percy to watch over him, or for both. I don't know. Also, how does Percy's mom feel that Poseidon's out here having all these kids? Like, I know he's been around for years, but you claim that you love her so much. Oh no. Anyways, I'm gonna continue to read, but I'll be back. My camera's blinking at me, so I'm gonna let you guys charge up. I am in shock. Hello guys. I have some more work and stuff that I have to get done and go to the gym. So I'll probably try to come back later tonight because things just got interesting. I'm on page 74, 75, and so I have some thoughts. Percy is upset that his brother is Tyson. Rightfully so, right? Like, he feels like it's really the narrative around Cyclops that they're brutal monsters, dumb, kind of just like destroy and eat everything in their path. That's the vibes that I'm picking up. And of course, Percy is like, why the frick did you claim him? Even though he made the offering. He was like, I hope that Tyson's okay, scrapes food. I hope that you answer my prayers. I hope that you hear me. Your dad claims him so he has somewhere to stay and they don't bully him and make fun of him on behalf of your request. Then you're like,
I'm just mad at Poseidon because it feels like he's trying to pit us against each other.
literally, siblings are a blessing, which I really hope that their relationship gets stronger. And I just feel so bad for Tyson because he's a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, not literally, but like, he doesn't know much and he's really just doing his best. And like, Percy is like this cooler, like, older brother. It's just touching my heart. Anyways, him and Percy are having this conversation. Percy tells him his thoughts, but Tyson's asleep. He gets a message from Grover. Grover's like, I've been trying to reach you. I'm not doing okay. I'm not well. I need you to come rescue me. And he's trapped by this Cyclops. Is that the same Cyclops from Odysseus? Is that the same one that he like poked the eye out of? I think it is, which is really, really cool. And then two, what a friend is Grover pretending to be a bride. I love the little bits and pieces of like comedic relief that you get. So I feel like Rick Riordan, is that how you say his name? I hope so. He does a really good job of writing in a way where it's like for kids and in a way where it's anybody of any age could read it and be like interested and like want to know what's going on in the story. And so Percy just woke up and I thought he was immediately gonna pack his bags and go to the Sea of Monsters. No, he's still gonna do that Chariots race. So I wonder what's going on. Also, him and Annabeth are in a fight.
What?
Their first fight of many, I'm guessing, because I saw a TikTok earlier that was like, so sad that we don't get any true like Percybeth scenes and stuff until the fourth book. Fourth book? I'm on book 2. And you really don't. Like, you get the hint that there's like a friendship and that they kind of, it's like they like each other, but they don't know that they like each other. That's exactly what it is. It's no like. And so that's the vibes that you're picking up. And I don't know, it's just very interesting. And those are my thoughts. I feel bad for Tyson. And I really hope that him and Percy's relationship is just like strong. I love reading about siblings. And then two, I just thought it was funny that the Cyclops that's holding Grover hostage is the same Cyclops from Odysseus. Which, I was about to say, who wrote the Odyssey? But it's Iliad, Homer. I think that's how you say his name. I butcher people's names all the time. I'll try to come back tonight and finish reading because I'm only on chapter 6. Like, I think I have maybe 4 or 5 more pages into chapter 6, but I really should do some work, go to the gym and stuff like that. So I'll be back later tonight and we'll talk more then. It is so late, you guys. Not even gonna lie to you. It's 11:16. I don't know how far we're gonna get in. I'm gonna try to finish up chapter 6. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read as much as I want to tomorrow. So we will just have to play it by ear. I would love to be 50% of the way done before the episode comes out. And that is still my goal. But I have a lot of editing and work to be done. I just want to come on here and say goodnight, and then I will update you if I feel like I need to after chapter 6, or I'll update you sometime tomorrow. But we will definitely be talking after the show and debriefing about the show. I am so excited. I'm seeing press right now on social media and Leah is so precious. Like, I admire her, honestly. And so I'm just excited. But I'm gonna go to bed and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night. I literally just opened up my eyes. And apparently Percy Jackson season 2, the premiere, is already on Disney Plus. So I want to watch it. Like, at first I was like, oh, you should do your work. You should like get up and get your day started. I think the only thing I'm going to do is brush my teeth and wash my face. And then I'm turning it on. So I wanted to tell you guys that. Let's watch it. Oh, I finished chapter 6 last night. I did have some thoughts. Percy cracks me up. First of all, him and Annabeth being in a fight, breaking my heart. Percy, basically, what did he say? Oh, their teacher is awful, but the first line of chapter 7 is what cracked me up. It says, so basically, their teacher, not Mr. D, the other guy, blamed this bird attack on Annabeth, Percy, and Tyson, and basically said the birds were minding their business until they got involved, and like, that's why the camp was under attack or whatever. Percy goes, this is so completely unfair. I told Tenoculus, I don't know how you say his name, to go chase a donut, which didn't help his mood. Obviously. That's just so funny to me. Percy has so much personality this year, but I'm going to brush my teeth, wash my face, and then watch the show, and I'll meet you guys in bed so we can watch together. Oh my god. I'm ready. Or I just finished getting ready. I'm so excited. I cannot contain myself. I hope that I read far enough in to where, I don't know. I like don't want it to be too much of a surprise because I feel like it'll be hard for me to like read the rest of the book. But I also hope that there are some variations. What I'm expecting to see in this first episode, pretty much everything that I've read, I expect the episode to end on a little bit of a cliffhanger, and that would be Grover, finding out what happened to Grover. And so I think that that's where we're gonna end, maybe. We have the first 2 episodes. They're both 45 minutes! Okay, it says Episode 1. Percy, Annabeth, and Tyson race to defend Camp Half-Blood from dangerous forces. Percy and Annabeth contend with a new activity director as they try to locate Grover. Okay, so the first 2 episodes are gonna have what we've already read. Let's start. Freaking hate ads. Let's call them what they are. They're commercials. Stop trying to scam the good people of America, okay? The good people all around the world, actually. These are commercials, which, you know what? I never had an issue with commercials when I was a kid. I would use them for potty breaks. I would use them to go get snacks. Or I would just, I don't know, sit there and watch them. The Disney commercials were the best, though. Because it was like, it would tell you what was coming up. I feel like these are straight just like, this is probably what the adults had to deal with. Frick. Oh, frick. Skip recap. I watched it so many times. This looks so good. Here's Grover. But he looks so much older. It's crazy how much time has passed.
Lord of the Wild, if you are near.
Okay, I'll be back. There's already some variation from the book, which we could talk about on commercial, but I just came on here to say Percy outlining, doing like this to the picture of Annabeth. Okay, we have to talk. There's so much variation within the first 7 minutes. Oh my gosh. Having Percy's mom find Tyson, take him in, have them live with them. Percy already knows that he's a Cyclops. That was like the first 3 chapters. That's half the freaking part that I read. Wow. I think that it is sweeter because maybe Poseidon like told her,
hey, this is my half son or whatever.
Maybe she kind of knew. I don't know. I feel like it makes it a little bit sweeter because, as you guys saw yesterday, that was one of my main concerns of, like, how does his mama feel about that, you know?
Percy!
Okay, we're on commercial. Everything has changed. Yes, I'm quoting that song by Taylor Swift. Everything has changed. I guess there's going to be no school fight, which is how Annabeth comes into the picture. She just arrived on the scene in the taxi cab of the Sight Sisters or whatever. So that's how she gets to Percy. And we don't really know that in the book, unless I just missed it. But at the very end, she siphons them or whatever, flips a little coin or whatever, and that's how they get to Camp Half-Blood. So we're about to have that scene already. This is flying by. This is flying by. I'm definitely going to get farther than where I am in the book. And that's okay. Tyson, we do see everybody kind of being mean to Tyson, except for Percy's mom. She's a sweetheart. But Percy does feel like bad and remorseful. That's where I'm at. This is crazy. This is crazy good too. Like, okay, another ad break. So much. One, it's so good to see like what you read be put on screen. A change this time, like this little scene, is in the book. We don't know who poisoned Thalia, right? And when they arrive to camp, she's already poisoned. Here, they show the distraction of the monsters, and then they run to Thalia's tree, and they see that Luke has poisoned it. So they see Luke do it. And in the book, we guess Percy do it. And yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, Percy's so smart. Like, he puts 2 and 2 together. That's a change. change. I mean, nothing's negative so far. Like, I feel like I'm just watching what I read and noticing the changes. But this is why I like to read most material first before I go in and watch it. Because, one, I feel like it helps you see things differently. Two, it allows you to form your own opinions on a piece of work that you love so much and give praise to the creators, to the authors. Well deserved, in my personal opinion, for Percy Jackson. Those are my thoughts. Percy freaking telling Annabeth.
Can we please change the subject? Like, I want to talk about your letters because I did read them.
No. Like, the thing is like, how does he not know? It's pronounced Tantalus. What have I been saying all this time? Okay, I just finished the first episode. I feel like the show is more mature, right? Because in the books, when Percy first, like, has the dream about, well, his second dream about Grover, and Grover's explaining where to find him, Grover's in a wedding dress, and he's pretending to be a bride so that the Cyclops won't eat him immediately. And I just remember thinking, like, it's like a little childish, but it's like funny childish. Like, as like a middle schooler, I probably would have giggled at that, you know? And in the show, they just completely scrapped it and gave them like the best friend arc. Like, in the book, Percy's life is tied to Grover because of the emotional link, and Grover does that. In the One second. Yeah, in the book, Grover does the emotional link. In the show, they make it more of a bonding experience, saying that it can only happen between a satyr and a demigod if they're best friends. Like, if their bond is like that strong, which I really like, because as I was saying earlier, like, you could feel it in the book how much Percy like loves and cares about Grover, and just thinking about the fact that like Grover was the first person to recognize who he was and just like basically save Percy. Like, he helped Percy realize that the narrative that was given over his life was not the actual narrative. And I feel like that meant a lot to Percy. And then, you know, Percy also allowed Grover to go on the mission, which allowed him to go on this mission that he's on in season 2 of finding Pan. But we're also getting like extra information, stuff that like wasn't or isn't explicit in the book yet. Like, we know why Luke had sent his little Goonies after, or like why their Goonies met Grover in the first scene. They're after this like healing cloak, which I'm guessing they're going to use for Kronos. Percy is also going to be after it. They're going to put it on Thalia. So that's very interesting. And I haven't gotten to that in the book, if that is even a part of the book. I'm about to start episode 2 and I'll see you at the end. Unless something crazy happens. This is the bird scene. I know I said I would be back at the end, but they're setting this up so perfectly, and I'm excited to see what it's actually like in the book, because in the book, Percy and Annabeth are fighting a little bit, but not that much. Here in the show, it's getting set up to be a big point of contention, and I'm so excited. Annabeth got strict orders from Chiron not to let Percy go on this expedition. We haven't seen that in the book. I don't know how they're gonna go on the expedition, honestly, because they've already had the chariot race and they get in trouble. That's the part that I'm at. That's the last part that I'm at. In the show, we know that Annabeth is going to win. Like, it was in the promo, and she's not going to pick Percy, and Percy's going to be upset. And I'm so excited to see the fight. I'm so excited. I don't know why. I love a good fight scene, though. I do in every movie. I eat it up, and so I'm excited to see that. That's really my only point, because I don't know. I feel like now I'm at the point where like nothing in the book is really gonna come into fruition that I've read for the rest of the show, and so yeah, I'm excited. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good. The wedding dress scene just came up. Oh my gosh.
How does I feel about that? I really don't care. You're angry. You feel she betrayed you. Percy.
Okay, I just finished the first 2 episodes, and we left off with them on their way to the Sea of Monsters. And where I am in the book, they just got in trouble, so I'm a little bit ahead in the show versus the book. I'll be interested to see how things compare. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read any today. Definitely tomorrow. I just found out that I have a spa appointment tomorrow. Like, I knew that it was coming up, but time has been warped because of VLOGMAS, so I need to get a few things edited and pre-filmed so that I can enjoy my day tomorrow. So that's what my attention is going to be on right now, and it's already 10 a.m. and so I just need to get to work. If I read any, I will update you guys. If not, I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Not bye, but like, see you later. Hello guys, it's been a few days since we've talked. I think last y'all saw I was reading at the spa, but I just made it to chapter 11, so I'm 50% of the way, or over 50% I think. Under 300 pages, yeah, 270, and I'm at 148. So yeah, I think I'm over halfway, and things have popped off. Last we talked was when I watched the episode, and the episodes put me ahead of the book, so I was at the part where they... Oh my gosh, why can I not even separate the two anymore? I'm like thinking about the show, but I'm also thinking about the book. I think we last ended on like chapter 6 maybe. Let me go back. Okay. We left off at the part where Tenachilus had basically blamed the kids, Percy, Annabeth, and Tyson, for ruining the chariot races. In the show, Clarice picks Annabeth. Annabeth betrays Percy by not telling Clarice to pick him, right? She was about to pick him and she doesn't. In the book, Tenachilus punishes them by making them do some type of like dish duty, except for the dishes are washed in lava. He also tells the story about how and why he's punished by the gods. In the show, we don't get that. So I found out that he's punished by the gods. This is low-key kind of crazy. So he went up to their world to have dinner with them. Then he stole from them and they punished him, right? They kicked him out of Olympus, and then he invited them all to his home to like show them that he was sorry. But when they punished him, I think they like denounced him, like, and his kids and stuff were like making fun of him and all this stuff. So he was pissed off. He like calls them to his home under the guise of like explaining to him that he's so sorry, and like he was just taking it because he admired their food, like he didn't mean any harm by it. But instead he serves them the soup that has his children in it. Like he killed and cooked his children and then served it to the gods, and that's why they got mad, and that's why he can't eat food or drink. That's crazy. Anyways, so that's kind of where we left off, in that realm. In the show, the last thing that we left off with was Percy with Hermes. He was getting ready to leave. He wasn't speaking to Annabeth. They were in a fight. In the book, it doesn't really happen that way. Hermes comes to Percy. They have a very interesting conversation. It's very descriptive, very well written. Percy doesn't realize that it's Hermes yet. And you get to see, like, Hermes is, like, the messenger god. So there's a lot of stuff that deals with that. He has, like, the staff pole with the 2 snakes, and it's, like, a telephone. And it's, like, a very comedic scene where he's like, hey, you're talking over here to Percy. You have 1,400 and some emails. You have 928 missed calls. This person's not going to be happy that... Why are you doing that? Off. Who turned that on? This person's not going to be happy that you're putting them on hold again. And Hermes just like, doesn't matter. But Hermes gives him the gifts and stuff that his dad gave to him, vitamins and all this other stuff. And he also gives him duffel bags for 3 of his friends. Percy doesn't understand at the time, but we'll get to there. And he's like, you don't do anything out of the kindness of your heart. What do you want? And he's like, I want you to save my son Luke. In the show, it's like a modified version of that, but same principle, except for Percy was just going to leave on his own. Now Percy is leaving with Tyson and Annabeth. So now we're on the same, or now we're just talking about the book because I don't know what's going to happen in the show. Oh, this is interesting. In the show, he gives them a life raft boat and says that his dad will help him get to there. In the book, he asks his dad for help, and his dad provides him with seahorses. But the horses are literally, the front part is the horse, the back part is a fish. Tyson, we find out, is like, might be 3, but they said that mentally, or Percy was like mentally, he's like 7 or 8. And so I figured that out kind of based on the show and based on the book, based on the way that he talks. And he just has like this cute childlike wonder about him. Anyway, so they go on the seahorses, they get to the ship, they find out that Luke and his minions are on the ship, y'all. They find out that Luke and his minions are on the ship. So I'm like, oh. Then they're sneaking around trying not to get caught. Of course they get caught. Luke basically spills some tea. One, he was like, I can't believe you're hanging out with a Cyclops after what happened, Annabeth. And Annabeth's like, shut up. And also, I think that it's very interesting that we get a description of how Luke looks like an evil, chiseled god. Like, they're basically saying that Luke looks good, and we're in Percy's POV, so he's like, oh, he looks good. I have some tabs. I brought out my tabs. I have 2 tabs. I'm gonna read them to you. I might have to finish my story time of where we're at. Okay. Yeah, I have to finish my story time before I read it. Anyways, they get caught by Luke. Luke is outing out some of Annabeth's secrets about why she's scared of the Cyclops. I don't know. We don't know too much. Just that whatever truth they were actually told about how Thalia died is not the real truth, because Annabeth says the real truth about how Thalia died has something to do with the Cyclops. Percy wanted to ask more, but Annabeth was obviously upset from seeing Luke, because she was like, we finna be together forever. Like, she got a crush on him, and he's over here turning evil. and tried to kill their friend. And Luke also is like, Thalia would have wanted this because she didn't like her dad. And then Annabeth says to Percy, have you ever been upset with your parents? You don't try to kill them, do you? And he's like, no. So she's like, yeah, Luke is wrong. So that was a very interesting dynamic. They also went to like this safe house that Annabeth built with Luke and Thalia, and that's where the first quote comes in. I like doing full spoilers. I don't have to cut out nothing. He goes, but whenever Annabeth talked about the time she spent with them, I kind of felt, I don't know, uncomfortable? No, that's not the word. The word was jealous. That's the blue tab for Percy. And the pink tab is for Annabeth. So basically they're at this safe haven, and in order to talk to Annabeth alone, Percy sends Tyson to go get some donuts. And of course, why would you send a 3-year-old out into the middle of the forest to find snacks? Like, he was just trying to get a little bit of alone time with Annabeth, but you can't be doing that, Percy. But anyways, they're arguing and Annabeth goes, Percy, you know who you remind me of the most? Thalia. You guys are so much like it's scary. I mean, either you would have been best friends or you would have strangled each other. And Percy goes, let's go with best friends. But I just think that that's so telling and so cute because you get little glimpses of how they feel about each other throughout the books, I've noticed. Honestly, it's the best friends to lovers probably ever. I mean, I haven't finished it, so I can't say yes. Definitely. I feel like we get to see Annabeth's love for Thalia, and her comparing Thalia to Percy, that's romantic in my eyes. I'm like, whoa, okay, girl. Okay. But I think that it also shows her frustration at the same time because, like, she obviously knows the prophecy. I don't know the prophecy at this point in time. I saw this TikTok that was like, imagine the stress that Annabeth is under now knowing the prophecy. Luke also spilled the beans talking about the gods are going to tell you when you're 16 or like they're using you. Don't you want to know what happens when you're 16 in the prophecy? Why are you baiting Percy like that? Of course he wants to know, but Percy was like, it's like when you're a little kid and one of your older cousins or older siblings like, don't you ever think about this? And you're like, I know what I know. But tell me what you know. That's kind of what it gave. Also, Luke is being creepy as frick. He has this casket that is supposedly holding Kronos. That's not his name, is it? Why did I think it was Thanos for a second? Yeah. Anyways, so that's kind of where I'm at. Oh. No, it's not. So Tyson comes back in as Percy's about to ask Annabeth another invasive question. And he's holding a box of donuts. And they're both like, where did you get a box of donuts in the middle of the wood? And he's like,
The monster donut place.
and then Annabeth gets really, really sketched out. Percy's like,
Whatever. He's a monster. That's probably how he found it. Like, he's a monster. He's allowed to go in there.
but turns out it's like, I don't know. They said something about like chain restaurants. Like that's how they get put up so fast in their world is like they make a deal with these, I don't know. I was confused. It's a monster donut shop, and then this monster has been tracking them the whole time. So it turns out if they didn't leave, they would have been eaten by this monster. Anyways, they're all scared. The monster looks like it's about to leave them alone. He's like tracking their scent, but he looks like he's about to be distracted by the monster donut shop. But Tyson gets scared and steps back and steps on a twig. And the monster sees them, tries to kill them, but dun-dun-dun-dun, Clarice comes through and saves them. She kills the monster, like a cannon thing, I think. And so she's like, of course I have to save you guys. And that's how chapter 11 starts. This is definitely full spoilers. This is my first spoiler vlog, if you can't tell. Wow, I just really talked about the book like you're one of my best friends on FaceTime. Like, I just gave you the rundown, word for word of what happens, and it feels so wrong, but it also feels so good. Because I have so many opinions, right? Percy... What is this prophecy? Like, I'm starting to get irritated that I don't know, and it's taking everything out of me not to Google it and to just find out the natural way. I do agree that this is weighing on Annabeth a lot more than I would like. First of all, the characters are pretty accurate to what we see in the show, but I feel like book Annabeth is a little bit more vulnerable than our show Annabeth. Like, I feel like maybe the vulnerability is through like non-verbal cues and I'm just missing it, but it's screaming on the page to me how much this is like stressing her out. And on the show, it kind of gave that a little bit, but I also just think that she was stressed because she couldn't allow Percy to go on the mission. And so I feel like that's how I was reading it. But really, it's the fact that she can't let Percy know the prophecy. And that's gotta be stressful. Percy, to me, the show and book Percy are like intertwined. He is so sassy. so sassy and very cocky and very confident, but also we're in his head. So I think that that is very interesting because like he always says like how when he faced Luke again, he thought he was gonna like immediately be ready to fight him and kill him and all this stuff. And he said it took everything in him to not let his hands like visibly shake. So I thought that that was very interesting because in the show he gives very much like confident, very much like frick you, I don't give a frick. Don't mess with me, don't mess with my crew. Tyson. Aww. I have no complaints. He's just a baby. I'm sick of everybody treating him mean though. Sick of it. And so those are my thoughts. Unless something crazy happens, I'll probably just try to finish it. I'm done reading for the rest of the night, but I really want to finish it by Wednesday when the next show comes out. So like Tuesday, because it comes out apparently like 12 a.m. on Wednesday. I don't know. Those are my updates. It's going good. I'm very interested to see, when do we know what the prophecy is? Because they said on his 16th birthday. So how old is Percy right now? I don't know. It's really stressed me out. And also I know that Thalia is supposed to come back because they did like the cast reveal for her and stuff. And so what's gonna happen with that? Like I have so many questions from things that I probably shouldn't know if I was just like reading the book. But because I'm also watching the show, I'm just like, oh, Chris Rodriguez? Who was gonna tell me that he was on Luke's side? I'm sitting here watching the show. I'm like, oh, he's kind of cute. Like, I see a little relationship going with him and Dior or something. She tried to flirt with him. But he's a traitor. He's a traitor. No. Also, I haven't heard of Lizzie or whatever her name is in the show that is also a traitor. But I feel like that's going to allow us to feel that when people who haven't read the book figure out that Chris is a traitor. Because we already saw some of Luke's traitors with Grover. That's my guess. But yeah, I've been talking for a long time. I'm gonna go to bed and I'll catch up with you guys later. Why does the monster in this book say hee hee? Oh. Why does the monster talk like this? Wifey's scared. So cute. Not to worry. Updates. All I gotta say is 1, Tyson better not be dead. 2, I better get that scene of Percy grabbing Annabeth's hand while they run to the ship. 3, I better there's so many cute moments of them and I better be portrayed on tomorrow's episode. Today's Tuesday, by the way. I think I'm gonna try to finish it and binge it when I get back home tonight. I don't have anything else to do besides edit, so I'll see you guys then. Good morning, guys. I just finished Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters. I don't know why I looked at it like that. We'll talk about my thoughts after I wake up a little bit more and I'm gonna watch the show. I read until like 2 a.m. last night, so I'm very tired. I just had a long night, and so I'm gonna watch the show though. I'm so excited. I'm gonna type down some of my thoughts so I don't forget. Okay, first commercial break. First of all, I really liked how we're seeing Clarice's prophecy at the beginning of the episode because we didn't find out until the very end of the book. So I think that's good. Also, we know the prophecy now. Or I know the prophecy now. Percy knows the prophecy. For the most part, I feel like there might be another twist and turn in there. I'm not sure. Also, they're on the cruise ship with Luke. They don't know that Luke's there yet, but Tyson just announced that he smelled monsters, which I kind of like because in the book, they all kind of find out together. This is going to be so interesting. I'll come back if I have something else to say, or I'll just talk to you at the very end. But also their chemistry is off the charts. Like, they're Percybething too much already. Like there's a little bit of scenes obviously in the book of them like just being good friends. Like I feel like in this book they became really good friends, but this is like tension within the first like 10 seconds of the show. Like tension. They make Tyson look so cool. Let's go. I like Tyson. Favorite character. New favorite character unlocked. It's so crazy how like in the book you explain everything through words, right? Because it's a book. But in a show, there's so many nonverbal cues. It's crazy. And I wonder like if I would pick up on these things if I didn't know, like, or have the words already in my mind, if I didn't already read the book. And I don't know. I don't think so. And I think that that's why I like reading stuff before watching it, because you pick up on all the non-verbal things and all the underlying meaning of things. Like Tyson, favorite character. But the beef between Percy and Luke, like, it's evident. But when Percy is flying away, like using the 4 winds, and Luke is giving him that stare, like that to me is like him being like he's not gonna come over to our side. And like if you've read the book, then you know like that's basically gonna signal to Kronos that he's a lost cause. Also, we have to talk about the very end of the book, but I have a question. Is Thalia gonna switch up? I just need to know. Bro, the episode ended already. That was so short. Literally, okay, the part that we ended off at is they just left Princess, however you say that ship's name. So Luke's ship. Like they had the encounter. They escaped. And Annabeth just told Percy the prophecy. Like Chiron gave her like, not the exact words, but like a watered down version of the prophecy. Anyways, I'm gonna get dressed and then we could talk about the book and in this vlog. Okay guys, hello, good morning. As you guys saw, I just finished the show, I got dressed, and now I'm ready to talk about Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters. I started tabbing it halfway through just because there was a lot of cute moments going on. I read out some of the quotes on my short form, so if you want to see like the first half of quotes, then go find that video, but I want to read out some of the ones that I tabbed later and talk about those. Okay, first thing that I tabbed that I feel like I didn't read on my short form was the siren scene. I think that it's very interesting because somebody made a comment that in the show, during like the promo, they changed it. It's not Percy that ties up Annabeth. Annabeth ties up Percy. And I think the actor that plays Percy was like his favorite scene, or like his favorite thing that he was excited to shoot, something along those lines, was the siren scene. But anyways, the part that I tabbed was, I promised I'd keep her secure. Then I took 2 large wads of candle wax and kneaded them into earplugs and stuffed my ear. Annabeth nodded sarcastically, letting me know the earplugs were a real fashion statement. I made a face at her and turned the pilot's wheel. Their friendship has blossomed so much throughout this book. Like I feel like the first book, obviously they had just met, but like Annabeth was in awe of Percy, but she like didn't trust him. And I feel like Percy obviously didn't really like Annabeth, or felt the fact that she didn't like him. And so it's very interesting like how much they grew. And like at the very beginning of the book, they're kind of beefing because they're like, you didn't talk to me. Well, you didn't talk to me during the school year. Like, you know how you have like when you hang out with your cousins during the summer, or you have like a summer bestie, like if you go somewhere and you don't really get to see or talk to them during the school year, when you see them again, it's a little bit of that awkwardness, but not awkward as if like you don't know that person, but awkward in the sense of like you're kind of upset that you guys didn't talk, but it's neither person's fault. And I feel like seeing that and then going to this scene was just so beautiful. Like seeing how much their friendship has matured. I really, really like that aspect. And I really felt like they're friends in this book. It's not so much as flirty as it feels when I watch the show. Like in the show, it's like, oh my gosh, like the tension is screaming. But in the book, it's like kid genuine friendship, and they just really care about each other. Next quote. This part's so funny. So basically, Annabeth escapes her ropes. He ties her up and she tries to get to the sirens. The sirens are tricking them to come to them, and they like show them their dreams and what they really want. Annabeth escapes, and so Percy has to save her. So as he's dragging her back, that is the context for the scene. She started to sob. I mean horrible, heartbroken sobbing. She put her head on my shoulder and I held her. Fish gathered to look at us, a school of barracudas and some curious marlins. Scram, I told them. They swam off, but I could tell that they were reluctant. I swear I understood their intentions. They were about to start rumors flying around the sea about the son of Poseidon and some girl at the bottom of the Siren Bay. I just thought that was so funny because gossip doesn't even escape in the sea. Fish gossip. And you know, if you saw like Percy and Annabeth in a air bubble, him comforting her, it would be news. Like I know Poseidon heard that and was like, oh my gosh, not my son falling for Athena or Athena's daughter. I thought that was very cute. Oh my gosh, this is when they're climbing to save Grover. A minute later, Annabeth had a slippery patch of moss and her foot slipped. Fortunately, she found something else to put it against. Unfortunately, that something was my face. Sorry, she muttered. It's okay, I grunted. I feel like this scene really showcases their friendship. I don't know. It's just something like, intimate is not the right word, but there's something close this book that I can't quite grasp and like explain. But I feel like this scene perfectly explains like how close they've gotten in their friendship, and it's just amazing to me. But yeah, she basically stomped on his face and he was like, unfortunately. Next, this dark gray tab. So I did give an explanation to my tabs on my short form. Blue is for Percy, pink is for Annabeth, and then orange is for Clarice. And then I gave this dark blue for Tyson. He only has one. But I love, like, Tyson is my favorite character. I loved him when I first met him in this book, but it just, like, developed even more. Tyson gave us the short version. Rainbow, the hippocampus, who apparently been following us ever since the Long Island Sound, waiting for Tyson to play with him, had found Tyson sinking beneath the wreckage of the CSS Birmingham and pulled him to safety. He and Tyson have been searching the Sea of Monsters ever since, trying to find us. I was just happy that Tyson was alive, because I knew he was going to be alive, though, because I was like, you wouldn't do this to me. You wouldn't kill off my favorite character. But I love the way that they portray Tyson in the show, and I'm excited for the future scenes to come. Next, there's this green tab. This is brother moments. I don't know why I made it green. I should have just picked either blue or like the darker blue since it's Percy and Tyson. But anyways, Tyson sniff. Brothers help each other out. You're my brother, I said, no doubt about it. I'm so sad. Book 1 and book 2. The huge plot is that Luke is pissed off at the gods, more specifically his father, for not caring about him, playing with their lives, acting careless, and just like choosing favorites, right? And I feel like he's valid, but I love that you get to see Percy have these same feelings, and yet he's not trying to kill everybody in his path and just like create a new world. And I feel like that's what I love about this quote and this scene. Like, Percy is visibly upset that Tyson gets chosen to go and like meet his father and like spend time with his father and learn how to make weapons for the war that's coming. And throughout the book, you see how Percy is upset that 1, he has a brother that he didn't know about. 2, Poseidon claims him. People are making fun of him. Oh my gosh, this, that, and the third. But also, he's just jealous. Like, at first, Percy was the only child that Poseidon claimed. Now he claims Tyson, you know? And I love how we get to explore that with Percy and still see how he chooses to not let those feelings overtake him and turn him into a bad person or something that is unrecognizable, aka Luke. And so I like that comparison. And that's my last tab. I've decided that I am going to keep my questions when reviewing books because I like them and I feel like it helps me focus. But my overall thoughts before I get into my questions, I really had a great time reading this. Like, I feel like it was a little slow in the beginning, but I feel like it's like that with most books. And as you guys know, I'm on the up and up of getting out of a book slump. And I was in a book slump for like 8 or 9 months. It was pretty bad, but I enjoyed my time. Favorite character, Tyson. I love seeing Percy and Annabeth's friendship. Like, it is so beautiful. I felt really, really bad for Clarice. Like, when Percy eavesdropped on the conversation, that was like sad to me. I was also sad for Tyson when he talked at the very end about like just like how he prayed to Poseidon and Poseidon sent him Percy and like how he knew that was what happened the whole time and he's just so happy that like Percy saved him. But I also like that Percy reflected and was like, Poseidon knew that I needed a brother. Like, he sent Tyson, Percy, and Percy Tyson for them to protect each other. I love the sibling aspect. And yeah, also, big plot reveal. Is Thalia gonna turn bad? I need to know. I'm nervous because that's the whole thing. There's 3 demigod children, I think. I don't know who the third one is. Am I missing somebody? There's Poseidon, Zeus, and Hades. Who is Hades' child? It's Thalia, Percy, I don't know. I could be so wrong. Anyways, one of them is going to have the fate of Olympus. That is the prophecy, right? And so I feel like Annabeth's whole foreshadowing about how Percy is so like Thalia and they will either be enemies or best friends. I like that part of like the foreshadowing. I'm just kind of nervous, but hopefully they'll be friends, right? Let's go into some questions. Also, I wrote down some notes to talk to you guys. Percy's dream of Thalia. I was like, who is this girl he's dreaming about? And then when they described what Thalia was wearing, I was like, oh no. They were a team. So that's why I'm hopeful that she'll be like good and on the right side. Felt really bad for Luke. Oh, I loved Hermes' values, like family values, just saying like even when family is like acting up and like doing all this bad stuff, like you can't give up hope on them. And even when Percy was like, I tried to kill him, and he was like, it's good for family to fight a little bit, like you reminded him that we care. And I like that because I feel like when you're going through a hard time, sometimes you need that tough love of people being like, this isn't you.
Rory, why did you drop out of Yale? This isn't you.
Even though they're not family, like you get what I'm saying. And then I just put Tyson with the little smiley face emoji. Book questions. I need to like pin this. Can you pin notes? Okay, you can't pin a note. What were the overall vibes? Was it funny? Did it make you cry? Were you kicking and giggling your feet? I definitely felt all of those emotions while reading this book. Overall vibes, Greek mythology, fantasy. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of middle school, but that's because I specifically learned about, maybe that was in high school. I think it was high school because in middle school I went to private school and we weren't allowed to learn about Greek mythology, but we studied like Latin, so it was a little bit intertwined. Anyways, in high school we learned about Greek mythology, so it kind of reminds me of when I'm younger and they're at camp. It's very summer vibes too. Like I really like that aspect. There were parts that made me really sad, like thinking about Clarice, thinking about how Tyson's been treated, seeing Luke and like understanding the validity in his argument. Were you kicking and giggling your feet? Yes. Like this, there were certain scenes that were so funny and not even in a romantic way. Like it was just a really good plot, low key. And so I was just giggling. Did you like the female main character? Yes, this is so interesting too because I feel like most books that I read are from, it's either dual POV, but I heavily concentrate more on the female, like her point of view, and then like the male, like I'm just kind of reading along. But this is from Percy's point of view, the whole thing. And so I find that very interesting because like that I don't get to do that often, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I love Annabeth. She's witty, very witty. And does she love love? We haven't gotten there yet, but I think that she does. Like, I feel like she's starting to realize that she has stronger feelings for Percy, but I can't necessarily call it love yet. It's like platonic, you know? I don't know. What season did you read it in? The winter versus what season do you wish you read it in? I'm gonna stick with this time in my life because the show. But if you were just picking it up and just like wanted to read after the show was over, just like reread or something, the summertime, it would hit. Is there overall spoiler-free tropes you could say? This is a spoiler vlog, so that doesn't really count. Like I said, Greek mythology, there is found family. It is very slow burn and it's funny, but it's not a rom-com, it's just funny. Did you like the male main character? Obviously. Who did you picture while reading this? I pictured Annabeth in the book is blonde. I personally pictured the characters that are on our screens. Sometimes, depending on what I was thinking about, they would switch to the movie characters, so like Logan Lerman and that cast. But for the most part, I just pictured Walker and Leah. Do characters have depth to them? Where the backstory is good? Absolutely. Is it more plot driven or romance driven? Was it 50-50? It's plot driven with subtle hints. Very, very subtle hints of romance is not the right word, but very subtle hints of just like there's something there, you know? What's a book this reminds you of? I really like that they talked about Odysseus from the Odyssey. I did like that. But honestly, it just reminds me of like a Percy Jackson book, low-key. I don't know why I always think about Harry Potter too whenever I think about Percy Jackson, but I think it's just because they're both books that you read when you're younger. But I thought about the Odyssey and I thought about Harry Potter. Did you binge this book? How late did you stay up reading it? Did you give yourself a headache reading this? This is more for like those books that I'm obsessed with. I don't think that I binged this book, but in terms of how quickly I read it compared to everything else I've read this year, I read it in like a week. I think we started this about a week ago. And that's with me editing and just like filming every day. I feel like I would have read it a lot quicker. And there were times that I wanted to pick it up, but I was just way too tired. So that's kind of, I feel like I binged it for me at this time period. And I did stay up really, really late reading it last night. I wanted to get it finished before I watched the show. And so I read late into the night and then early in the morning. No headache though. Is there a movie on it? There's a show. Did you picture the characters that way? Yes. Well, there's a movie too. Yes, I cover this. which is better and which order did you watch it? Now this is going to be interesting. Which order did I watch it? I started this book specifically before this season, but I watched the first season before I read the first book. I don't know. I think that this is one of the ones, kind of like The Summer I Turned Pretty, where the show and the book are both necessary. Give me 1 second. Back from my sneeze attack. I think that the show and the book are both necessary reads and watches in their own and unique way. Like I was saying earlier, it's very interesting reading the book because you're told so many things, obviously because it's a book and it can only tell you things through words. But with the show, there's so many nonverbal cues and just like seeing it is very interesting. And so I think you should watch the movie, watch the shows, and read the books. I forgot to say that I'm gonna give this book a 3.5 stars. It was really good and I enjoyed my time reading it. 3.75, 3.5, that's my rating, and I'm about to put it into Goodreads right now. We've come to the end of this video and I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'm excited to continue reading. Oh, I did want to mention that my winter TBR, like winter reading vlog, will be after Vlogmas because in my head, winter is December, January, February, and so I just really didn't have time to read or get up another reading vlog while also doing Vlogmas. So stay tuned for that. But I will literally see you guys tomorrow for another day of Vlogmas. Bye.